Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a Aimblox guns tier list. And yeah, basically this is just the tier list. It's severely outdated since it doesn't have a couple of the newer guns, and some of the guns are, like for example, the AK is not 2-star yet. But this is the best tier list I could find. I also have my friend Dakes here joining me, so say hi.
Hello?
Yeah, so we're just gonna start off in this tier list. Also, by the way, just make sure to like and subscribe because I post entertaining and useful content to you. So, and even if you don't like my content, you can just unsubscribe later. So, yeah, let's get right into it, the video. So, 9mm. Now, it's a free gun. It's free. You don't need any, like, anything. You don't really need to pay for it. But for the fact that it's free and it's that good, like to the point where, like, in close range is similar to a shotgun. Similar, like only with one bullet. It's similar to a shotgun at close range. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. But it's not really a viable weapon, and it's just a regular weapon. It doesn't have anything special to it. Now, we're going to go to the AK-47. This gun has probably the most mixed opinion. Hopefully, Dakes can help me on this one.
I've never used the AK-47.
I don't even use it at all. But because it's an AK-47, I mean, I don't really use it much, but in close range, it's just an automatic 9mm with 30 ammo. So I'm just going to put it on a rough A tier, since it does good damage. Actually, I'll move it down to a B tier, since it doesn't deserve to be up there with the guns that I'm about to put there. Asval. It's just a faster firing AK. Like, it's just an AK but faster firing in a completely awful iron sight. I'm gonna put it in front of the AK in B tier since it's still better with the lot of fire rate. And yeah, it's actually pretty decent. Now, you know what? Instead of going to the AUG A1, I'm just going to rank the kunai real quick. With this gun requires a formula, an entire 15-step method to know how to kill somebody with it. Like maybe in close range is good, but you need to look at a YouTube tutorial to know how to kill somebody with this. It's so dumb. Like, I hate. It's such a bad. It's a weapon. It's not a gun. It's a weapon. It's a kunai. Why is it even 3 stars anyway? It should be like 1 star, 2 star, around that area. So I'm just gonna put it in the lowest tier. This gun requires a formula to kill someone with. Now we have the AUG A1. This was or is my main gun. Actually was. It has an amazing iron sight. You don't need any sights on it. It has good fire rate, I would say. It doesn't have regular. Decent damage, really long range damage, like 25, 23 per long range shot. So I'm gonna put it in A tier because it's just like, it doesn't have any downsides to it really. The only downside that I can think of is the fact that, like, how hard it is to get. I mean, it's a 4-star weapon, and when you're a noob, you're not going to get anything. The BFG. I think Robloxians use the BFG. And
I hate it.
Yep. I think any sniper really is just awful. Like, first of all, it has insane recoil. You cannot aim with it. Like the aiming down sights is banned. It's so bad. You can't use it. And like at some points, it's gonna do good damage. Like and maybe you could one shot really, really close range on body shot, one shot headshot all ranges. But surprisingly low fire rate, no ammo. You cannot shoot with this thing. I'm gonna put it in D tier since it doesn't belong to be with the kunai. Actually, you know what? I'm moving the kunai up to D tier, and I'm gonna put the VFG down. This gun requires a formula to kill someone with because it really does. When you're playing Space Snipers, you can't kill somebody. It's impossible. Like you need to shoot them twice or just wait for an assist counts as kill. Or you just need to get lucky and hit a headshot. Bow. This gun is not a gun.
It's luck based.
It depends on how much luck you have on that first shot. Like, for some reason, I have no idea why, but it just, so, let me explain to you what it is that makes this gun super weird, I would say. First of all, the first shot, the recoil on it is completely luck based. You don't get skill on it. You don't get complete skill on how much recoil you're getting. You just have to get luck on if an enemy is close to you. And is the first shot going to be accurate? But it is a one shot. So I'm going to put it in C tier above the 9mm for that matter. The crossbow. One of my favorite weapons. I'm going to put it in the top of B tier. It's a completely straight shot, decent iron sight, good long range, one shots all ranges, but only has one shot, and I get why the developers would do that. I mean, do you think that they're not going to add one shot to the crossbow? It's a crossbow, it makes sense. And now, I'm going to skip this, I'm going to save it for later. I'm going to let Robloxian rank this, because this is his main gun. Rank the Deagle for us.
Oh, okay. Deagle is my main weapon. So, Deagle, it one-shot headshots all ranges. It does require a special way of aiming though, which is called mediocre aiming. If you're not, you have to perfectly balance your aiming. You have to make sure that you're aiming just right amount. You're not aiming too much, but you're not aiming too little. And then its damage is insane. I'm pretty sure it's 2 shots, maximum 3 shots at far range, 2 shots mid and close range, 1 shot headshots all ranges. It's basically a much better BFG, and it's also a pistol. I would just overall rank it probably a lot better than the BFG, yeah. Much better than the BFG.
So I would rate that around an A tier, if that's...
Yeah, I would rank it as an A tier, yeah. It's my main weapon, which is basically giving me a little bit of bias, but considering it doesn't take too much skill to use, and it does do good damage from all ranges, or at least decent. Yeah, A tier. A tier seems appropriate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not a one-shot headshot all ranges. I think I just did a little bit of research on all guns. It actually only one-shot headshots, like very far range. It only does 83 damage, but like close to mid, and sort of like far, like at the point where it's not middle range, that sort of mediocre range. It's just a one-shot headshot too. So now I'm rating the Dragunov. Me and Robloxian have different opinions on this. He thinks that it's actually trash. It's one of the worst. I think that it's one of the best. Let me explain why I think it's one of the best, and it should be below the crossbow in B tier. First of all, it's a sniper. It has a sniper scope, I mean. And it's not even a sniper at that point, it's just a rifle. It has decent fire rate for the amount of damage. 30 ammo. And it does like somewhere in the... It does deagle damage like around that level. But the reason that I'm ranking it lower than deagle is because it doesn't one-shot headshot any range. Like, you need to hit somebody twice for you to get a kill. And it's not that bad, but it doesn't have any special properties, which is the point of a gun. No, it does have a lot of special properties, but the thing is that none of them are really that viable in like basic combat. Like, for example, if you're gonna use the fact that it has 30 ammo in combat, I don't need 30 ammo. I just need 5, to be honest. Because by the time that you're done killing someone, you're gonna reload a full mag. And that's the thing. So I guess it's useful in some way. Now I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna show you, but I'm gonna start moving on to guns. I'm just gonna scramble this area up, like, because I just want to, like, just a little. So now I've scrambled the area up. I'm gonna move on to the MK14 EBR. What do you think, Provoxian? What do you think, Diggs? Yes.
Okay, in my opinion, the MK15 EBRs, I would say it's best in Space Snipers. It's more high fire rate than all other snipers. It gives it a massive advantage, not disadvantage. In Space Snipers, in other game modes, maybe not. It gets a severe downgrade in other game modes, such as gun game and competitive, because everyone else has pretty good weapons compared to the MK14 EBR. So it's mostly a good weapon in Space Snipers only, so can't rate it too high. Wouldn't rate it
so
too
like
high.
top of D tier or C tier?
Top of C tier, probably.
Yeah, okay, above the bow.
Yeah.
So
Definitely better than the bow.
yeah, it's not better than the AK. So
Speaking of that weapon, I have it right now in Space Snipers. So I'm gonna hope I can find someone to get it. Never mind, I just died. Now I have the intro version.
so now I have the FS2000, which is it's a gun, okay? It's a gun that has a good iron sight. It looks special. It's a faster firing AK again. Does this around the same damage. Above the Dragunov. It's better, actually above the, below the Asval, because the thing is that, like, why, it's, the Asval is just this gun but with faster fire rate, and that's where I'm going to rank it. Now, I think me and Robloxing are going to 100% agree on this. Eon Pistol, an iPad user could kill somebody with Eon Pistol. Like,
Yeah. It's extremely overpowered and unbalanced.
and it does splash damage, does 65 damage, infinite range, has a little bit of a travel time on the projectile, but I think that's, like, it's not the biggest disadvantage, but it still is, like, an iPad user could definitely kill somebody if they just shot in that direction. They don't even have to hit the shot.
Because of its splash damage.
And it has a lot of ammo in it. I'm pretty sure it's like 60. So I think that the gun is completely busted.
Which 25.
Oh yeah, either way, it's more, if it had 60, it would be higher than that rank, rank. It would be so much higher. But now we're moving on to another 5-star, the Jack 12. What do I put? So I'm gonna put the Jack 12 at the start of A tier, since the thing is that the Jack 12 is good. It's good. It's good like mid-range and close range, sort of. It does really good damage. It has kind of good ammo for the amount of bullets that it shoots per shot. It's automatic. And it actually does damage. Like, unless it's far range, but it does damage. So, it's better than the AUG. It's actually pretty good, but I think that's going to be the lowest ranked 5-star. Never mind. Probably the second lowest ranked 5-star on this list. And now we're moving on to another one of those guns which are just too good and an iPad user could kill somebody with it. I think Robloxian already knows what it is. It's the Supernova. This thing, you could fly up in the air, shoot homing missiles down to the ground that do splash damage. And the only reason that it's good is because you can fly. People can't shoot you in the air as good as they can shoot you in the ground. And you have missiles that are coming down, raining at them, shooting them. And if they're in a big clump, you're in luck. You're gonna get a 5-kill streak in only 2 shots. So that's why I'm gonna put it there. And the iPad user could kill somebody with it. Now we're moving on to a gun that I think Robloxian has more experience on than me somehow. It's the G316.
Yep.
Yeah, so how would you rate it?
Although I'm pretty sure I do have more experience with it, I still can't give a full rating, but from with my experiences, it's actually pretty decent weapon. Mostly mid-range and close range. Far ranges, not as much damage probably, and good fire rate, good damage. So overall, I think it's a pretty balanced, good weapon.
Yeah, he is right. So, and I totally agree with him. On far range, it's really good too, and the iron sight is amazing. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier, in front of the Dragunov and the crossbow. By the way, you know, I'm actually gonna put it behind the AK, since I just realized that there's Azval F2000 and then FS2000 and then an AK. So I'm just gonna put it above C tier, B minus technically. So now we're moving on to one of the worst weapons, the RFB. This thing shoots slower than a snail could travel to South Africa in 3 minutes. Like, how close will a snail get to South Africa in 3 minutes? I would say around maybe 10 meters, 20 meters. Except the RFB shoots slower than that. You have to wait like 3 minutes to shoot 1 shot, and they only do 35 damage. It does crap damage. There's no fire rate, and it just has basic ammo. To be honest, none of the RFB is actually good. That's why it requires a freaking formula to kill somebody with it. Because how you're gonna kill somebody with it is that if they're just clueless, they're looking in front of them, they're looking like behind them, and then you're just in front of them, and then you just shoot them. They can't turn back and kill you unless they have a shotgun and they're in close range. That's the only way, and that's the formula to kill somebody with it. Now we're moving on to a 2-star, which is somehow controversial, even though it's a 2-star. It's the shotgun, basic shotgun. The basic shotgun is a good close range weapon. It's just a Jack 12, less ammo, is an automatic. And to be honest, for what it's worth, a 2-star weapon, it deserves a C+, like top of C tier. Better than the MK14 EBR, since it's not good in any other mode, unless it's Space Snipers. And now we're moving on to a weapon that Robloxian has more. I have more experience, but he has an honest opinion on this thing. It's the intervention.
Yeah. Alright, so the intervention, not gonna lie. Sniper already good helping marks. But honestly, one-shotting is a big thing. So it's good if you are decent at the game. If you can get your hand on it, it can definitely be replaced very quickly by guns like the Scar or Deagle or even maybe the Dragunov. But it still is a pretty decent weapon, comes handy a lot of the time. I would probably rate it somewhere in the middle of C.
So I'm gonna rate it above the bow, but below the MK14 EBR, since I think that's where it belongs. And now we're moving on to the better weapons. Also, this video is gonna be 30 minutes long if you're watching till this point. Yeah, so it's gonna be 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna start speeding this up a lot. The Chris Vector, high fire rate SMG, doesn't have much ammo, doesn't have good damage, but the amazing fire rate makes it super good under the fact that it's 1080 fire rate. In one round, in 1080 milliseconds, or sorry, not 1080 milliseconds, so 108 milliseconds, it can shoot a full mag. I think it's less, but either way, it's still really good. The Type 95 is a good weapon, but ever since this update where they made it a burst, it's super bad. It's good if you're gonna land all headshots since it's technically a one shot at that point, but it's super bad when now it's just a burst and it's like fart range. You have to hit somebody twice now. M4A1 is the gun that I pop off with every time in randomizer. That's why I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier. It's so good, and every time I have it, I just pop off. I can't stop getting kills with it. Now we're moving on to the double barrel. Now the double barrel is only good when you're in that situation where you're super close. But it has 2 shots and really high damage, super good fire rate, good reload speed, but only 2 shots. That's why I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. Actually, the bottom of B tier. We're moving on to the MP5, which absolutely sucks, but I'm still gonna rank it above the kunai. Since it does have a little bit of range, if you have the right attachments on it, it's a beast. It's just a Chris Vector, except with lower fire rate. If you have the right attachments. The P50, it's a pistol. Bottom of B tier. Or top of C tier. No, actually above the bow.
It's basically the same as the Deagle, around the same thing.
No, same thing as the 9mm. The Deagle has lower fire rate, higher damage, basically everything except fire rate and ammo. Putting it above the intervention. P90, good SMG. I'm gonna put it below the Chris Vector since it's slightly better, but it still is a good weapon. PP Bison, the name is amusing, but it's a bad weapon. So at the top of C tier. M60, it's a 5-star, and it's not even. It's just an AK with 100 ammo and less damage. This gun sucks. I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier, but because it's a 5-star. RPG, iPad user could kill somebody with it. You can fly. It's a one-shot sometimes. Scar, I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier because it's better than the M4. Has good fire rate, good damage.
I use it as a backup to my Deagle.
Yeah. SDMR, I'm gonna put it behind the Scar since I know how to use it. It's essentially just an MK14 EBR, except does so much higher damage, like does 75 and 100. And now moving on to the last one, the L115A3. Requires an ish. I'm gonna put it at the top of, bottom or middle of B tier, because it's an okay weapon. It's an okay sniper, and yeah. So guys, this is my Aimblox tier list. This is a top tier, or really much basically just S plus tier. This is A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and the worst weapons in the game, which I'm gonna put there. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, because I post entertaining and amazing content on this channel, sometimes useful. And hopefully you have a nice day. Bye.